guys, thanks for subscribing to Bonsai Mirai on YouTube. If you like this video, we have a ton more like it on Mirai Live, including weekly live streams, species and technique features, and weekly live Q&As with Ryan Neal. Start your free trial today at live.bonsaimirai.com.
Once we start to understand the fact that the living vein and its relationship with Deadwood is an expression of age, we start to ask ourselves, what is a good living vein? How do we create a good living vein? And these are good questions, right? Is it enough that it just connects the roots to the foliar mass? For the survival of the tree, absolutely. But aesthetically, the more that the living vein moves, the more that the living vein twists, and the more that it interacts throughout the trunk as it moves from the base to the foliar piece of that tree, the more interesting that becomes visually for the viewer. When we dive into the discussion of how do we handle the living vein, we have to understand that there are two completely different actions that we perform on the living vein. Let's dive into cleaning as the first action. Cleaning a live vein consists of removing the accumulated bark that over the course of 2, 3, 4 years starts to amass itself, create less of a contrast and more of a weathered kind of a look compared to the Deadwood, and we lose some of that nuance of seeing that enhanced aesthetic of the contrast of the living and dead. The best tool to be working on a live vein is the gouge. A very straight bladed gouge allows us to get between the bark plates in the cleaning process and easily separate them from the currently living live vein. We identify those bottom layers, we create that smooth live vein, and we bring about that color that gives us contrast. To remove the outer surfaces of bark, get down to a very singular, clean, highly contrasting color and smooth live vein to show that difference between the living and dead, as well as to inspect underneath those accumulating plates of bark to make sure we don't have insects or any unwanted guests visiting our tree and feeding on that living tissue is a fundamental part of the maintenance, as well as a fundamental part of enhancing the aesthetic of the tree. The second part of handling a live vein is actually aesthetically, reducing that live vein to be able to increase the quantity of deadwood and decrease the quantity of living tissue carrying water to the foliar mass and sugar down to the roots. By utilizing our strategy of trying to enhance that live vein's interaction with the deadwood, moving it from the right to the left, trying to create that rotation around the trunk, engaging the background and the foreground of the design, and applying these techniques to expand on the concept of how rugged the environment was, how old this tree is, and really trying to communicate the tree's desire to survive in these harsh conditions is what gives bonsai its power, its drama, and its intrinsic value of capturing our attention. Now, when we think of the action of cleaning or reducing the living vein, we have to understand that the living vein is just one component of the aesthetic in bonsai creation. To understand that this is going to enhance the impression of age, and this is a part of our fundamental structure of the tree, allows us to accept the fact that once cleaning is done of the live vein, once deadwood is created, we now move on to the styling process in the structure of our tree through the application of wire, pruning, and management of foliar mass to round out that composition and communicate our vision for that tree as it began prior to ever touching that living tissue. Live vein work is another step in the process of bonsai creation that we need to understand and learn to embrace as we create more enhanced and interesting bonsai compositions. The practice of bonsai is such an expansive and rich opportunity to explore every single action and interaction we can have with our trees. And live vein cleaning, reduction, and aesthetic manipulation is just another way that we can enhance this impression of age and add drama to these tiny miniaturized trees that reflect that greater environment. To learn more about this, visit live.bonsaimirai.com. Start your 1-week free trial, check out the library and an expansive amount of information, build your skills, and also check out goods.bonsaimirai.com to get all of your live vein cleaning tools and the ability to really enhance your techniques with the right supplies to pursue bonsai. We look forward to seeing you on the live stream. Good luck with your bonsai endeavors and enjoy that live vein work.